Good morning, students, and welcome to the accountancy class for class 12. In the last class, we had studied profit sharing ratio among existing partners, which is a topic among in the chapter reconstitution of partnership. So, today we're going to start the chapter reconstitution of partnership from a new phase. When I started the first chapter, profit and loss appropriation account, that is introduction to partnership, I told all of you that there are some accounts that needs to be prepared. The first account was profit and loss appropriation account, the second was partners capital, and the third was balance sheet. When reconstitution of partnership takes place, that is when any of the four events, which four events? Change in profit sharing ratio, admission of a partner, retirement of a partner, death of a partner. Means when if any four of these events takes place, then these three accounts are always prepared. The first one is revaluation account, the second one is partners capital account, and the third one is balance sheet. So you already know what is partners capital account. We learn revaluation account, and balance sheet will make when there is a full-fledged sums. When the time comes to make a full-fledged sums, we'll make all these three accounts. So what is revaluation account? Revaluation account is prepared when the assets or liabilities are need to be revalued. For example, when the reconstitution of partnership takes place, the partners decide to start everything from new. They don't want to keep any profits or any losses from the old. They want to start everything from a new phase. For example, if a new partner is coming, and there is any hidden profit in the assets of the firm, if there is a new partner coming and there are any hidden profits in the assets of the firm, then what will the old partners do? The old partners will distribute the profit among themselves. Correct? Logical, right? That what happens when a new partner comes in, the old partners, what do? They distribute the profits among themselves. In the same way, the new partner which comes, he also thinks that if I'm coming, then I will not be liable to bear any old losses, right? If there is any loss of the partnership firm from beforehand, before his admission, he will think that I am providing fresh capital, I am providing fresh assets to the firm, then why will I bear the old losses? He will also think that the old partner should bear it. So that is why revaluation is done. In revaluation, what happens? All the assets and liabilities are revalued. The assets and liabilities are revalued. Assets such as, what are the assets? The main assets that are revalued are fixed assets such as machinery, furniture, land. These are the fixed assets that are revalued, and debtors. Debtors are also revalued. For example, if the partnership firm was receiving 1 lakh from the debtors, 1 lakh, a total amount of 1 lakh was to be received from the debtor. But it came to the knowledge of the partnership firm that now only 90,000 will give the money. Means now one of the creditors has gone bad debt, or he is not sure to pay. So the debtors decreases from 1 lakh to 90,000. So means it is what? It is revalued. Suppose now talking about the fixed asset, land. So now we all know that the value of land does not decrease, instead it increases. So when the partnership firm started, the value of land was say 50 lakhs. However, after a few years, the value of land became 55 lakhs. Right? It became 55 lakhs. So what happened? 5 lakh increased, right? It is a profit of 5 lakhs because we had the land for 2-3 years. What happened? The value of land increased, and it is the profit 5 profit of 5 lakhs has occurred. So means, first of all, the land will be revalued at 55 lakhs and the profit of 5 lakhs will be distributed among the old partners. We'll do everything in detail. First, let me explain to you. Then let's talk about machinery. Now, machinery is not like land. The value does not increase. Machinery depreciates. So when the partnership firm started, the machinery was for 1 lakh. But what happened when the reconstitution of the firm took place? It was found out that the machinery's value is only 60,000. 60,000 means a loss of 40,000 has occurred. So what will happen? So now the new partner will say, if you are not giving me profit, if you are not giving me profit from the land, then why will I take the loss from the machinery? Right? So you will have to distribute this loss among yourself. So a loss of how much has occurred? 40,000. 1 lakh was the value, but when revaluation took place, it was found that the value of machinery was only 60,000. So a loss of 40,000 has occurred. So first of all, machinery will be revalued at how much? At 60,000. And a loss of 40,000 will be distributed among the old partners. Right? So what is revaluation? In simple words, revaluation is the valuation of assets and liabilities again, or revaluation of the assets and liabilities, means it values all the assets and all the liabilities again to know that the value has changed or not changed. If it has not changed, then no problem. If it has changed, then we have to prepare the revaluation account. Now, why is it done? Now, I told you before that when admission takes place, the old partners do not want the new partners to get the profit of the old firm. In the same way, the new partner also does not want any part in the losses of the firm from beforehand. Right? So it means that when revaluation is done, then it is done only among the existing or old partners. This is to be noted very carefully. The revaluation which is done only among the existing or old partners. It is not done along with the new partner. The new partner will not bear any loss or any profit which comes after revaluation. So how is it done? The profit or loss, not only profit, loss can also occur on revaluation. The profit or loss after revaluation is distributed among the old or existing partners, not new partners. Be very careful. The students always make mistakes. They distribute the profit of revaluation among new partner also. So the new partner will neither get the profit nor the loss of revaluation. Only the old partners will get. Okay. So I'm just making a platform for you to understand. If you haven't understood, you will understand. Okay. Now let's have a look at the revaluation account. This is how a revaluation account is prepared. Simple ledger. See, decrease in value, asset, increase in value. I'll teach you how to record, how the increase is recorded and how the decrease is recorded. Okay. Now look at the journal entry. Now you can understand this by two ways. First, if your concept is clear, then you can understand it very well. Second, if your concept is not clear, then there is a trick. Now, first I'll teach to the students whose concept is clear. Four things can happen. One, if the value of asset increases. Second, if the value of asset decreases. Third, if the value of liability increases. And fourth, if the value of liability decreases. These are the four simple things that can happen, and you will have to maybe you have to pass the journal entry, or if you will not have to pass the journal entry, you will have to make this account for sure, 100%. This account is mandatory. You will have to make this account, and I'm damn sure of it. So this is very important. Now, if the value of asset increases, the journal entry is asset account debit to revaluation account. Now, why this journal entry? We know that asset is a debit account, means when any asset increases, it is debited, and when any asset decreases, it is credited, right? So suppose the value of machinery was, suppose machinery account, machinery account, right? This is the debit side, this is the credit side. Now whenever we purchase machinery, we record it over here to bank 50,000, right? Whenever we purchase machinery, we record where? We record on the debit side of the machinery. So whenever asset increases, it is debited. If you don't remember this, then please write this. If asset increases, then debit. If asset decreases, then credit, right? Whenever any asset increases, it is debited. Any asset decreases, the asset is credited, right? Now when you know that the asset is debited, then the other account, that is revaluation account, will be credited. Simple logic, right? When suppose the machinery value, suppose the land value was 50 lakhs, right? So now it is 55 lakhs. So the asset has increased. It has increased by how much? By 5 lakhs, not by 55 lakhs. It was 50 lakhs before, now it is 55 lakhs. So now it has increased only by 5 lakhs. So here we'll record asset account debit 5 lakhs to revaluation account 5 lakhs, right? So whenever asset increases, it will be debited, and the other account, which is revaluation account, it will be credited. From the same logic, all the three, means the other three journal entries can be understood. If the asset decreases, then it is credited. So the other account, revaluation, it will be debited, right? Revaluation account debit to assets. Why? Because the value of assets has decreased. Example of machinery. Machinery value was 1 lakh. Now it has become 60,000. So means the value of machinery has decreased by 40,000. So we'll record 40,000 in both the accounts, right? Now let's talk about liabilities. If the value of liability increases, then what happens? For liability, the rule is, if liability increases, then credit. If liability decreases, then debit. These four rules are very important for everyone. You will have to know this. It is very important for everyone who are studying commerce. You will have to know this, that if liability increases, it is credited. If liability decreases, it is debited. Say for example, creditors. Creditor is a liability. If creditor will increase, let's make a creditor account. Creditors account. Debit, credit. Opening balance is here. Buy balance BD, right? To balance CD. This is closing balance. Now whenever we make a purchase, what is the journal entry that is recorded? Purchase for credit. So the journal entry will be purchase account debit to creditors, right? So we record it over here by purchase account. Purchase account debit to creditors, so we record over here by purchase account, right? Why do we record over here? Because the creditor has purchased from me, means he will give me money. He has not given it yet. So means the creditor has increased. Therefore, it is credited. Creditor has increased, therefore it is credited. Therefore, whenever liabilities increase, it is credited. Now, if liability is credited, then the other name, that is revaluation, it will be automatically debited. And when liability will decrease, it will be debited, means the other account, that is revaluation, is credited, right? Now, practical example for revaluation account is that suppose during reconstitution of the firm, what happened when all the assets and liabilities were being revalued, a creditor from old account appeared suddenly. The old partners remembered that we have to pay this creditor 10,000 rupees, which they thought they had already paid, means mistake. So due to this, what happened? The creditor increased. What happened? It increased. So means creditor will be, liabilities will be credited and revaluation will be debited. Value of liabilities increases, revaluation account debit to liabilities account. Same goes for if liabilities decreases, liabilities will be debited and revaluation will be credited. Now let's come to the trick part. Means the trick that I was going to tell you for the students whose concept is not clear. Four things can happen, I told you. Now you will categorize these four things into good things and bad things. In simple words, अच्छा बात and बुरा बात. अच्छा बात means when assets increase, we know that when our assets increase, it is a good thing, right? And when liabilities decrease, it is a good thing, right? Whenever assets increase and liabilities decrease, it is a good thing. And what are the bad things? When assets decrease and liabilities increase, then it is a bad thing. Take a careful look at this, whatever I've told you just now. Two things, अच्छा बात and बुरा बात. Assets increase, liabilities decrease, अच्छा बात. Assets decrease, liabilities increase, बुरा बात. Okay. Now whatever is given in the sums, you will categorize it. You will means evaluate if it is a good thing or if it is a bad thing. If it is a good thing, then whenever a good thing happens, revaluation account is credited. In the same way, if bad thing happens, if bad thing happens, revaluation account is debited. If you look over here, you'll know. See here, here asset is increasing, revaluation is credited. Here liability is decreasing, revaluation is credited. Here asset is decreasing, revaluation debited. Liability is increasing, revaluation debited. So if a good thing happens, then revaluation credit. If a bad thing happens, revaluation debit. Now, if you know that revaluation is credited or debited, you will know that the other account will automatically be the opposite. If you are crediting revaluation, then asset will be debited, of course. Or if you are debiting revaluation over here, then liabilities will be credited. The concept will be clear when we start the sums. So just copy these four journal entries and keep this thing in mind also. In the next class, we'll make this revaluation account. So that will be all for today and no homework for today. So this is a very important thing. And I hope all of you have brought your books. If you haven't, then please go and buy your books. So that will be all for today, and thank you and have a nice day.